So just over a week since Typhoon Haiyan devastated the centre of the country, the Philippines government says that the death toll has risen to just over 3,400, but it warns that the final number is very likely to be higher. Local officials in Tacloban say that 4,000 have died in that city alone. Relief efforts are finally being stepped up. Aid workers say the situation is still bleak. There are still places which have been quite completely cut off by the storm.
The most pressing challenge is one of simply reaching places. I mean, we're on one of the central islands. Of course, the typhoon swept from east to west across this central bank of islands here in the Philippines. And we're, I guess, in the middle of those series of islands. And this isn't actually one of the worst affected places. But even yesterday, getting all that aid, this was really basic stuff like food and water. Getting it into trucks here in Cebu City is fine. Getting out of Cebu City, getting trucks all the way out into these really remote communities who so desperately need this aid is the challenge. And when we were out there, there was no way of communicating with each other. All the phone lines were down. And we just saw destruction all around us, houses flattened. We spoke to so many people in the distribution centre yesterday who have just lost absolutely everything.
China has announced that it will donate an additional $1.64 million in relief aid to the Philippines amid controversy over its initial offer.
China has decided to offer relief supplies worth 10 million yuan, including tents and blankets, for people in the devastated areas of the Philippines.
China's government had announced on Monday that it and the China Red Cross would jointly donate $200,000 in emergency aid. The ministry received many questions from the media about the amount, which was far less than donations announced by Japan and the United States. Chin said the new aid is due to a change in the situation in the stricken areas and stressed that China made the latest decision out of humanitarian considerations.
These locals wait patiently in line to use one of the rare telephones still working in the town, in the hope of reassuring their loved ones that they are okay.
We are calling our family that from other country because they are not aware what's happening to us here in our place.
In Tacloban, one of the hardest hit towns, this hospital still has no roof, nor running water. Its equipment wrecked in the storm, staff are still struggling to cope.
There was one patient that was brought to us still. We could revive if we had the facilities, but we just left him there because we cannot do anything.
The cleanup operation has begun in several towns and aid is slowly trickling through. But the Philippine government has been criticised for not doing enough and not moving quick enough to help. On Thursday, the president visited a sports stadium turned relief centre in the capital Manila to reassure his people that aid was on its way.
Later on, the problem will be housing all of these people. No. But right now, it's the basic necessities, food and water. Okay. Transport is ready, funding is also available.
The City Hall in Tacloban says at least 4,000 people are dead. It's nearly double the nationwide toll provided by the government in Manila, and the numbers are expected to rise.
The devastation is I don't have the words for it. It's really horrific.
There are fears that the death toll could soar to 10,000.
Some of our family members are dead, so it's really devastating.
I am the only survivor of the family and I want to know them if they are still alive.
3 days on since the storm itself, there are still bodies by the side of the road.
The slow recovery effort only added to the trauma, grief turning to anger.
Get international help to come here now, not tomorrow, now. This is really, really like bad, worse than hell.
And everywhere CNN reporters went in the days after the storm, the plea was the same.
food, tents, everything. Everything is gone. So we need help.